Welcome back to the LEC as Rogue is on top of the LEC once again as they take down Fnatic in an absolute showcase. Inspired, thank you so much for joining me. That was an extremely dominating performance. What went well today? How are you feeling?
I feel great, especially being in Inspired's skin. I guess now I'm inspired and I'm not myself anymore. But I mean, it was great. Draft on 12, we kind of got what we wanted. Yeah, I mean, I think Bodling got a solo bolo at level 1, and then Inspired just kills him level 2 at the red buff invade. So I think after that, it was just kind of smooth sailing, and we just have to control the excitement, I guess, because when we get so ahead, we kind of want to just keep fighting and fighting and fighting. So we just have to not end and just wait for them to kind of keep going with the end.
And with this performance, Inspired has won Key Player of the Game. Can you tell me how, not only in this game, but throughout the split, Rogue has been playing through Inspired, and that has been shaping Rogue's playstyle so far?
I mean, it's great. Just from the beginning, I felt like he was a big voice. He always had a good plan about what he wants to do. Even though there's at least in spring there was this thing where he just full clearing into full clearing into full clearing. I feel like we make really good usage of his jungle timings whenever he's not on his camps. I feel like every lane has a plan set up for him, or he comes up with a plan, and he tracks him enemy jungle camp respawns very well. So I feel like every single time when he's off of his camps, there's a play to be made, and we just make very good usage of his time.
And in a recent interview, Inspired went to say that he references a lot of the LPL and LCK games, which did go viral in various communities. Is it an initiative that you personally or the rest of the Rogue also share, like referencing the Eastern League games?
I wouldn't say that I necessarily think that Eastern League of Legends is kind of the way to go, or just like the proper way to play the game. It's just his own philosophy, because from what I know, ever since he went to Worlds, whenever you get exposed to like that sort of scrim culture where you're screaming only top teams from every region, you kind of start picking up a lot of things. And I think it all started from there, because even his solo queue name is SOFM Junior, so he's like the biggest SOFM fanboy and stuff like this. So I guess when you go to Worlds and you scrim very good Chinese and Korean teams and you get smashed a bit, you kind of start to realize that your meta is maybe not so good, because in LEC or like even in NA/LCS, there's like the bottom teams are significantly weaker than the top LEC or NA/LCS teams. While I feel like in LPL there's a lot more competition. It's just that every team is so good that someone has to be last place, you know, not like in LEC.
I guess my reason for the question was in the line of thinking that we are closing off in the playoffs, and people are starting to ask about, hey, Wells, who's going to Wells? Which region looks the best for Wells? And my question would be, what do you think about the relative gap between the LEC and possibly LPL and the LCK?
I wouldn't say there's like such a big gap. I mean, obviously I haven't been to Worlds for quite some time, so it's just maybe my biased opinion. But I just think historically LEC has maybe been a bit weaker than LPL or LCK at times, but I feel like we're very competitive, and it's just kind of a matter of meta, what patch hits on the Worlds patch, because I mean, if we hit a good patch, then I think the whole region as a whole can be very competitive going into Worlds.
And we do look forward to Worlds, but first there is the LEC, and this time you have taken down Fnatic. Medline and G2 still trying to catch up. Is it finally Rogue's time to win the LEC? Do you feel it in your bones?
I mean, in spring I also felt like it was Rogue's time to win LEC, but it didn't happen. But at the same time, I felt like it was a really good loss for us. I feel like it made us a lot stronger. We were kind of getting ahead of ourselves in spring, I would say, with how good we were playing, and we were kind of maybe just taking it for granted, you know. So getting your ass kicked like that is kind of good for kind of putting you back into place. But I feel like if we close out the week good against Mad Lions, and we keep up the same trend that we have with like the same scrim culture going into playoffs, I feel like we can win it. Well, not again, but win it this time.
And we will look forward to it. Best of luck for the rest of the LEC and your possible run for Worlds.
Yeah, thank you very much.